Chang and Eng Bunker had 2 of 21 children, with 10 for Chang and 11 for Eng. Chang and Eng Bunker were conjoined twin brothers, born in Siam, which is now Thailand, in 1811. They became globally famous as Siamese twins and settled in North Carolina. Dismantled buses were converted into accommodation on Talica Beach in the UK in 1959. Today, Talica Beach is a picturesque spot popular with tourists. But it wasn't always like that. In the past, it was known as the Slum by the Sea. There's a reunion of former slaves in Washington, D.C. in 1916. From left to right, we have Lewis Martin, who's 100 years old, Martha Elizabeth Banks, who's 104 years old, Amy Ware, 103 years old, and Reverend Simon P. Drew, who was born free. There's a Christmas party happening in an underground shelter in London in 1940. In 1944, Paul Tudor lost a bet with another soldier in his barracks. The men didn't know he was gay. He managed to hide his secret. The soldier he lost the bet with made him do lots of embarrassing things, some of them pretty gay. The disfigured French veteran of the First World War demonstrates a face mask designed to disguise his wounds in 1920. Pamela Anderson in 1993. The Hungarian engineer Stefan Nailed is standing near the machine he invented. Supposedly, this machine could make people and inanimate objects invisible. The year was 1935. In the 1960s, maternity and mastectomy bras began to find a new respectability. Feminism and bra burning also became linked in popular culture. Central Park during the Great Depression. Construction workers built the park in the 1930s, a project initiated by the City of New York. The project created employment opportunities for those who struggled. They expanded the park's landscape by building new roads and pathways. They also erected buildings throughout the park. There's a picture of Afro-Mexican children in Guanajuato in 1910. Youth Meeting, 9th of May, 1932. Children from the East End of London are holding a meeting. They're discussing their day in the country, and the Hoxton Market Mission is organising a fund appeal for it. 3 lads are playing to the camera, Jamaica. In 1937, Britain, there was a real contrast between the lives of rich kids and poor kids. For the rich kids, their days were often filled with things like pony rides, tennis, and fancy dress parties. They might have had their own governesses or tutors to teach them, and spent their holidays at the seaside or travelling abroad. Clothes were important, and they probably had plenty of them. On the other hand, poor kids often had very different experiences. They might have lived in crowded homes with several siblings and spent their days helping their families. Instead of toys, they could be playing in the streets, and their clothes would be simple and practical. School was a must, but after school they could work to help earn money. Their holidays were probably local, maybe a trip to the park if they were lucky. Switchboard operators in the 1930s or 1940s in British Mandate Palestine, a few years after the other photo. The chairs look a little less like torture devices. Miklos Horthy, the leader of Hungary, was in Košice during a military parade. It was celebrating the annexation of the region from Czechoslovakia in November 1938. A young geisha is posing in her kimono. This was an autochrome shot from 1927 in Tokyo, Japan. In 1934, engineer Alexei Osipovich crafted the Sol gas aero, derived from the Daisy A model. Its wooden body was encased in metal plates. American soldiers are sheltering in a trench just over a mile from Ground Zero, moments after the detonation of the 43-kiloton nuclear device Simon at the Nevada test site in 1953. 1946. Hey mister, I can fix that tyre for a Coke, a cap gun, 5 army men and a hula hoop. Leo Tolstoy. Che Guevara was captured in La Higuera, Bolivia on October 8, 1967. Bjork, 1991. Fascist politician Oswald Mosley was knocked unconscious by 2 stones thrown by anti-fascists, while he gave the fascists salute at a march in Liverpool in October 1937. Justin Trudeau, former Prime Minister of Canada in the 1990s. The psychiatric hospital of the early 20th century. It's an autochrome showing an Arab woman. The date is the 31st of July 1918. You can see jewellery and the colours of the fabric. Abu Simbel Rock Temple, Egypt, in the 1960s. The Soweto Young Lions Student Uprising, 1976. A greaser takes a break from working on his car, Brooklyn, 1950s. Paris Red Light from 1976 to 1979. Pigalle, Paris, 1978. Students in a 1960s typing class are covering their faces. They're trying to focus on memorising the keys. It really shows off an old-school way of learning. England vs France 2-0 World Cup 1920. Dick Kerr Ladies Football Team, Preston, 28th of May 1920. Polish civilians are looking on as German forces enter the city of Gdynia, Poland on September 14, 1939. A British airman smiles for the camera before boarding a ship. He's leaving France and going to England. This was around 1940. The ship's mascot, a baby magpie, is sitting on his cap. October 14th, 1939, Captain Alice Shanks is carrying a football in powder bowl at Gunnison, Colorado. There are A-20 bombers and M3 Stuart tanks from the US 5th Armored Division. They're doing joint exercises in the Mojave Desert, California, in 1942. A United States soldier is checking out a solid gold statue. It was part of Hermann Göring's private loot. The 7th United States Army found it in a mountainside cave near Schonau am Königssee, Germany, on May 25, 1945. Betty Grable in Los Angeles, California, United States in 1943. Prisoners at the camp in Woblin, Germany, 1945. New York fashion, 1930s. Herman the Cat, a cat who was given the title of expert mouser aboard a United States Coast Guard ship during World War II. Banana during the 1940s. A little boy looks less than enthusiastic after his baptism in the Mississippi River. This happened in St. Charles Parish, Louisiana. The photo was taken during either the 50s or the 60s. A chronic schizophrenic patient is standing in a catatonic position. He maintained this uncomfortable position for hours. There's a wax statue of Hitler that was vandalised by some teenage hooligans. It's at Madame Tussauds, and this all happened in 1933. An Arab woman is posing along a rail fence. She's wearing her traditional clothes around the 1910s. It's an autochrome Lumiere. During the 1960s, women fought for healthcare and abortion rights. There's an Arab man with 3 wives and 2 maids. This is from Egypt in the 1870s. July 1962. Miss Universe 1961, Marlene Schmidt. A full-length portrait. She's wearing a crown, a swimsuit, a royal robe, and holding a scepter. A lady walks around renting out books as a walking library. There's a female firefighting team on a converted motorcycle in London in 1932. At the Thomas Jefferson Memorial, Marine Honor Guards stand watch over the original Declaration of Independence. It was displayed at the base of the statue to commemorate Jefferson's bicentennial anniversary on April 13th, 1943. Celebrating Halloween in 1886, a man dresses up as the Billiards King. His 2 sons are dressed as the 8-ball and cue ball. Alright, so there's a lady with a cat. This is in Times Square back in 1956. Stephen Hawking marries Jane Wilde in 1965. A portrait of an interesting hairstyle from 1894. Abby Stockton mid-lifting 135 pounds in the 1940s. Joseph Brodsky with his students, Michigan 1980s. A soup kitchen for youngsters during the Great Depression in the 1930s. A mother and her child hold hands while they watch a cross burn. Georgia, April 27, 1956. A showgirl is posing with a stuffed bird inside a cage. She's at the Latin Quarter nightclub in New York. The year is 1952. The cage is on her rear. Czechs in London are demonstrating against Austria-Hungary. They're also showing their support for creating Yugoslavia during a visit by Prince Alexander of Serbia in 1916. Drinks party. August 21st, 1930. A group of actors, including Tallulah Bankhead, born 1903 and passing away in 1968, are doubled over with hysterical laughter in a scene from the play Let Us Be Gay at the Lyric Theatre, London. Tsar Nicholas II of Russia with some of his daughters, Olga, Maria and Anastasia, sometime between the 1900s and the 1910s. The Los Angeles Greyhound Bus Terminal 1969. There were ashtrays and coin-operated televisions. A police officer fights to rip off the flag from an anti-fascist protester at the German Bund rally in Madison Square Garden, New York, on the 20th of February of 1939. King Victor Emmanuel III of Italy decorates a young boy with a gold medal of military valour, 1942. It's a Halloween costume from around the 1920s. A British pin-up model, Anne Austen, is in front of the Ewhurst Manor House in the 1960s. Einar Mikkelsen, a Danish explorer, was photographed in 1912 after spending 2.5 years in forced isolation in Greenland with a colleague. They went through total isolation, hunger, and hallucinations while waiting to be rescued. Audrey Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart on the set of Sabrina, 1954. A woman stands in a doorway. She's wearing a simple dress, and she's looking off to the side. The photograph was taken in Paris in 1950. She seems confident. The launch of Skylab on May 14, 1973. It's a mushroom cloud from an atomic test, 75 miles away from a Las Vegas hotel in 1953. McDonald's started in 1950. It was a pretty simple place. They sold hamburgers for 15 cents, fries for 10 cents, and milkshakes for 20 cents. They also had a drive-in. 1948. A picture of a naked woman shocks and entertains people in Paris. Danish children are in folk dress for a festival in 1937. Cindy Crawford, 1990. A match seller, disabled and suffering with polio, is surviving on the streets of London. It's about 1900. Anton Pavlovich Chekhov, 1887. Hans Frank, the German governor of occupied Poland, is meeting with ethnic Goralen Volks to celebrate Adolf Hitler's birthday in 1940. The writer Anton Chekhov is walking with dogs in Yalta, 1903. Albert Einstein teaching at Lincoln, the United States' first historical black university, in 1946. An American soldier is leaning over the side of an army truck. He's kissing a French woman who's on a bicycle. This happened during the liberation of Paris on August 25, 1944. An American Red Cross worker wants to make friends with a little refugee. The date is June 7, 1918. Berlin, 1936 Olympic Games. Jumbino, the favourite elephant at the National Zoo, is getting his daily bath and scrubbing. This was on August 10th, 1922. The Capitol lawn was mowed by a steam-powered lawnmower in 1903. Soviet collector Guram Kakidze is at the Joseph Stalin Museum, which he ran in Georgia in 1988. Geronimo or Goyakla, 1887. (1918). Estonians declared independence from the Russian Empire, and they established a Democratic Republic of Estonia. Wedding ribbon, Saint-Sauvant, 1951. Brooke Shields, in the 80s. Ernesto Che Guevara around 1962. Raquel Welch on the set of 1 Million Years BC in 1966. Charlie Chaplin and Sophia Loren at Charlie Chaplin's birthday party in 1966. Fairy Sisters, cabinet card photo from around the early 1890s. John and Jacqueline Kennedy. The couple at a party in Palm Beach, Florida in 1962. They are smiling. John's wearing a suit. Jacqueline is in a dress. John and Jacqueline, along with other guests, watched the ceremonies at the dedication of the Robert Frost Library at Amherst College in Massachusetts in 1963. John is giving a speech. Jacqueline is listening. John and Jacqueline in Hyannisport, Massachusetts, in the summer of 1963. They're standing and smiling. They seem to be happy. John is wearing a shirt and pants. Jacqueline is wearing a dress. John and Jacqueline with their children. It's likely a family outing. John and Jacqueline are smiling. There are two children in the photo. Rita Hayworth in Bob Landry's iconic Photo for Life, 1941, the birth of a new pin-up queen. After the war ended in May 1945, it took months to transport all those men and women home again. And some didn't arrive until just before Christmas. The guys who didn't have a wife or girlfriend waiting for them. Rope beds were a cheap but miserable way to spend the night in a doss house. The bomb-damaged Reichstag in Berlin, 1945. King David Kalakaua, the last king of Hawaii in 1882. Surfers USA 1960s. An aerotrain in Moscow 1921. Imagine a college student's dorm room from the 1910s. There's a bed with a simple headboard. Beside the bed sits a nightstand. On the nightstand there's a lamp. A desk sits in the room with a chair. The desk holds some books and a small picture. Princess Ileana of Romania during the 1920s. Wipers didn't just belong on race car windshields in the 1930s, they also came on special rain goggles that drivers would wear in open cars. A couple is drinking water from a fountain. This took place in Michigan in the 1940s. This is the first production tank of the German Empire. It was released in 1917 to 1918. A man is standing on the lap of a colossal figure of Ramses in 1856.